Hello guys, welcome yet to another video on Mhiribidi House. If it's your first time coming across my video, you're welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your ongoing support. And I am humbled, like I posted yesterday, I'm really humbled by the support I've received from you guys, especially in the last video I've done. I think we've gained about 132 subscribers in the last 48 hours. That is amazing. That is really, really amazing. And that's all down to you guys. So well done. If you've subscribed in the last 48 hours to grow the Mhiribidi channel, Mhiribidi House channel, YouTube channel, I'm really appreciative of your support. And if you've subscribed before also, super loving you guys. I don't think I would have reached as far as I have or even continued doing the videos if I didn't have your support. So I'm very grateful for that. So in as much as you've seen my title, continuing or giving up, I just thought let's have an honest conversation. Let me have an honest conversation with you guys, because this is one of the thoughts I've heard along the project. In as much as we come out here week in or month in, month out, and sharing the videos, showing you the videos, you guys saying, oh, well done, you're doing well and all this. And in as much as it's amazing, it also has its ups and downs as well, guys. So I thought let me not be biased and just show you the good part of when things go right, because you know what, when you're building, things can also go wrong. And I mean, you only have to watch videos of people who are constructing something or who are building something on YouTube. You can see one or two things have not gone according to plan, which just goes to show you how real it is. You're dealing with people, you're bound to have teething problems, things are bound to go wrong. And I've watched even videos of people saying they tried something and didn't work out, and that's life, guys. But does it mean when things don't go according to that plan we give up? Maybe in some cases, maybe in some cases, maybe not. But for me, honestly, I can say there are times when I've looked at what's happened and I'm like, I can't do this anymore. It's enough is enough. I can't do this anymore. Felt like walking away. But then you start thinking on where you've come from, like looking back on the project and how much you've accomplished, and then that just pushes you as well to keep going. So if you are ever gonna be thinking of doing a project, I think if you prepare your mind for things going wrong, you'll be able to make it, because they will go wrong. And it doesn't matter. I think we also think, oh, it's only builders or contractors in Zimbabwe. Guys, it's really not. I was laughing when I saw someone saying, it's almost like they were born by the same mother. I think it's Chiera Shumbasvel. She mentioned something like this, that this contractors, it's like they were born by the same mother, and it's exactly the same thought I had when I noticed what's happened, because I mean we've done a project as well where we are living right now. We were actually doing an extension of our house, our old house. I tell you what, I kid you not, things did go wrong. Even in the most, when you think, oh, because it's because people are using, the backdoor builders. No, even the reputable companies as well, they also can get things wrong. So yeah, we did hire a professional, reputable company. They will come and promise you, heaven and earth, this is what we're going to do, and all these contracts reviewed and signed and everything. And you know what? The same complaints we have about our own builders in Zimbabwe, they also have the same issues. They don't turn up when they should be turning up. No communication whatsoever. And when things go wrong, they don't want to know. So it's It's not just Zimbabwe, guys. It does happen elsewhere as well. So I think as long as we know that it can go wrong, or there will be some sort of an issue, even with the so-called contracting companies. They will have teething problems. I challenge you to watch more YouTube channels on people who have used a proper contracting company, and tell me whether there was not even a single issue they had with that company. There will always be issues, because you're dealing with people. It's just like, even when you're working, whether you're a doctor, you're a nurse, you're a lawyer, whatever you might be, a helper, you will come across issues, because that's what makes us human. That's what makes us the people that we are. But it's what we do when we come across those issues. So guys, I'm going to be referring to my notes as well, because there's a lot that I want to refer to you and share with you on what maybe some mistakes that you can potentially avoid if possible, if you've embarked, or if you're thinking of embarking on your own building project. So there are things that went wrong with our project, even from the beginning, guys. I think throughout my videos, I've highlighted some of the issues that we've had, but I thought, let me just do a video specifically for the issues that we've encountered. It might help someone to avoid same mistakes, but not saying even when you avoid, you're not gonna run into your own. You might do. It just depends on the people that you're dealing with. So the things that went wrong on our project from the beginning, the plumber laid out, our first plumber, and guys, it's not unusual for you to go through 1, 2, 3 contractors, for a particular field, be it plumbing, be it builders. It's very common, and again, watch some videos, you will see along the way people might have changed their builder, their contractor, their plumber, or whoever else was doing some work on them. At some point, someone might have changed that in the work that they were doing. So for us, the first thing that went wrong was the plumber. He read the plan wrong. I think I have to laugh on this one. How can you read the plan wrong? How can you say you are a professional plumber and you can't read a plan for your plumbing pipe works? How is that possible? So for me, this was a real banger. It really shook me. How is that possible? And we only actually found out when we had actually working on the top floor, trying to lay out the rooms. That's when we found out. We didn't even know that an error had been made. And so this is someone that had been referred to us, guys, that they knew what they were doing. They were actually a registered plumber in the city of Masvingo in Zimbabwe. They were actually a registered plumber, and there were some works that they'd been done, and they came highly recommended. And guys, when you hear of recommendations, don't take that as gospel. That, oh, they come highly recommended, because it's not always the case. And in actual fact, I would actually say, if someone comes highly recommended, you might want to go back and look at their work that they've done few years back, not recently done, because I think that's where we went wrong. We were referred to people that this person had done work for in the last 3, 6 months or a year. You want to test things that have been there for some time. We're talking of over a year plus, for you to know, is this person, are they as good as they say they are? Because this person wasn't, but yet they came with high recommendations. So I would urge you that as part of doing your due diligence, investigate. You might as well spend more of your time investigating than having to pay a lot more money later down the line, like we are doing now, and I'll tell you more on that. So that was the first thing that went wrong with our project, the plumber. The second thing that went wrong with our project is when they were doing the deck, there was one side that wasn't made straight, and I'm sure, you know, if you've been following my videos, you will have seen there was a part where the builders were I don't know what's the word for it, they were trying to remove that excess part of the deck that had come out, which was not straight, to try and level it out. Yeah, they were trying to level it out. There's a video that they were doing this with grinders and all, and, you know, trying to sort it out so it looks nice and straight. So yeah, again, these were reputable builders who actually were building multi-stories, commercial multi-stories in the town of Masvingo. And in actual fact, we actually went to see, well, not me per se, but my husband went to see a few of their buildings that they had done. But on our building, you know, one side was not straight. And so this goes back to, no matter how someone comes highly recommended, or you still need to check and triple check their work, you know, till you're satisfied before you give them that contract, you know, because people will, when they want work, they will show you the good that they've done. No one will ever come and say, oh, you know, we messed up this person's job. They'll always come and show you the best of what they've done. But, you know, did you do the best with my project? Not really. So the deck, again, we had that issue. And then it was something we had to rectify now, you know, as we were going along with the project. And that costs money, guys. It's kind of like doing the work. This one I'll not say twice because it wasn't, but we did pay a fair bit of money to try and get that resolved. So that was the number 2 thing to go wrong. The third thing that went wrong with our project was the stairs. I'm sure you've seen the stairs. You know, they are one part of the house I really hate to look at. We've demolished them now, but there were one part I didn't like to showcase in my videos, but there were some parts I could not avoid doing it just because they were just that horrible. And funny enough, my mother-in-law calls them mazongororo stairs, like as a chongololo goes like this when it's walking. So my mother-in-law was calling them mazongororo type of stairs. And she actually was scared of going up them stairs, and I don't blame her because they were horrible. But I remember when we received the video of these stairs, when the actual builder who had done these stairs sent us the video when they wanted to be paid, like, you know, what's the word? Vaita kuzvibiga kuyaga kwekuti tarova basa mudhara wangu atumira. They had sent the video to my husband. They were like, oh, mudhara tarova mastairs tarova, and they were standing on the stair, one of the part of the stairs, saying tarova mudhara mastairs abuda blah blah blah. And only for my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law, when they went to Zimbabwe, they were like, oh, what the heck? What is this? What type of stairs are these? You know, because like you would stand on the stairs and your head would literally be like this, near the roof like this. That's how, oh gosh, what is my, oh, it's not that bad. Okay. I was thinking, what is that on my dress? So yeah, you literally would stand and your head is like this next to the stairs. Because they didn't, one, they looked ugly, and secondly, where they should have been lifting up to go up, they probably didn't follow the plan, to be honest. I don't even know how they did the stairs, but they were horrible. So we had to demolish the stairs. Guys, the amount of concrete and cement that goes in doing concrete stairs, it's not a joke. It's a lot. And for you to then pull that down and redo it again, that's doing the job twice. This is where we did the job twice. So we paid double the money to get the stairs redone, even to demolish the stairs, guys. We had to pay $400 for someone to just demolish them and then build them up again. So if you think even of the what do you call it, the metal, not metal, steel, the steel that they use to do the stairs to make it strong, we had to buy that again, and that's not cheap, guys. That is not cheap. My deformed bars, it's called deformed bars. They are not cheap, those things. So we had to buy that stuff all over again. So even for our project, I think those are some of the things that have set us back in not finishing it or being at a certain stage we would have anticipated to be, because of these mistakes that happened, you know. So that's one thing I would say. Do your homework again. If there's someone who has done stairs, go and look at different 3, 4, 5 houses they've done stairs on, and also stairs they've done a long time ago, to make sure that they are good at what they do. Because you don't want stairs and also kuwira the following day, you know, or if in a few months' time they start, you know, falling off or whatever. So you want to make sure you research, you find, you know, people who have been doing it for years. I know, even like we laugh at one thing also. I think when we're looking at my builder as well, in actual fact, throughout this experience, I think I now actually prefer older builders, because or older contractors, because they were doing things better than what we're seeing nowadays. Nowadays, with these modern ones, it's all boshed up work. Yes, it might look nice, but if you look at it, is it good quality of work? I don't know. You know, I'm yet to be convinced on that one. But for me, that's what I have kind of decided to believe, because when we've had to bring people back, the ones who have come back to resolve the issues are the older contractors, not the newer ones. So that's my experience. It could be different for you. But so that's the third issue that we've had on our project. And the other issue we had, one of our builders, I won't say which one, but one of our builders, he didn't make the wall straight on some parts, in some areas in the house, and we're only finding out now as we're doing other things, you know, that things are not lining up, you know, and there are certain parts then that you have to try and rectify. And again, that's money, guys, to now get someone to try and rectify some of these things. Some of them you can't rectify. It just depends on, you know, the part where it is. So you just have to alter your alter your plans along the way and make do. And you know, so that's one other thing, that some parts were not straight, and you think, but you were using fishing line. Is it fishing line? Yeah, fishing line, which builders use to and also the spirit level and all. So I don't really know what the issue really is on not doing something as simple as getting something to look straight. And so that's the other thing that went wrong. So the fourth thing, right? And the fifth thing, guys, so we moved on to the second plumber, whom we thought, oh, they were amazing. They came on site, they were dissing the first plumber. Oh, how could they do this? You know, how could, you know, and we had to dig. I'm sure you saw. If you didn't see my videos, I urge you to go back to some of my videos, and you can see some of these things. You know, he came on site and he was dissing the first plumber. Oh, he didn't do the sewer system properly. We had to dig everything out again. We had to start redoing the plumbing again. So take two, yeah, we're paying for plumbing work again, and only for my last video, I was showing you the parts that, you know, he had been chasing and needed to be done. Things were leaking and unbelievable. So we then found out there were a lot of areas that were leaking. And how can things leak when you said you've laid new pipes and, you know, you've done this, and even the water pressure was next to nothing. It wasn't coming out properly. Like, water was not coming out properly, and guys, Unopera Simba, you just like, how can this happen? You are a plumber. This one actually came with recommendations as well. And we actually went to see his work. We actually went, not me per se, but the people we assigned to go and do, they saw his work, sent pictures, sent videos, and people who had work done for them by this person were giving testimonials. They were giving testimonials saying, oh, yes, they are really good, blah, blah, blah. But on our project, not so good. So leaky pipes, and the one that cracked me up, and I was thinking, how can things be like this? Was when we connected the solar geyser? Yeah, I'm still to share those videos with you guys, by the way. When we connected the solar geysers on the roof, can you believe this person nailed the solar geyser into the tile? I mean, I'm no plumber myself, but I would want to think that that's a big no. So anyway, we unfortunately, because we were rushing on doing so many different things, we didn't actually go on top of the roof to check what they'd done. But this is the thing. I urge you, check your work. Double check, triple check your work. No matter how good someone is, you've got to keep a check on it. So unfortunately for the roof, because we were pulled left, right, and center on different things we're working on, we just thought, oh, this is the guy who came and fixed the sewer and did all the other stuff. So he seems to know what he's doing. But yeah, so we then found out the water wasn't coming out. The hot water wasn't coming out. There were leaks all over the place. And you're thinking, how is this possible? So we are now on plumber number 3. Plumber number 3. Yeah. And this one, I hope, and I've been praying, I hope we found the right person. And in actual fact, we've started seeing, it's early days, but we've started seeing how their work is. The pressure of the water, you will see in my other video I'm going to share with you. The pressure, without the pump, is amazing. Proper pressured water. Fixed and moved the stuff that were not aligned properly. And then one morning as he's coming to work, and this guy comes to work, early morning. You don't need to chase. Or the second plumber, we always had to ring and chase. Are you coming? When are you coming? We're on site. Can you come? You say you come, never turns up sometimes. And I mean, guys, if someone is doing that, that's a big red flag. A big red flag. So my nose is itchy. I think hay fever is really high today. Pollen count, is really high today, so I'm itchy. So this guy, he wasn't turning up when he should have been doing. So our third plumber now, this guy turns up early. You don't need to even call him. So one morning he's coming to work and he sees the solar geysers, tipped over. Tipped over on the roof. Immediately he went up and was looking at this. Oh my goodness. So it had gone into the through the tile. Thank goodness. And I mean, I'm so grateful to God on this one that it didn't fall through the wall. Can you imagine? There are people staying on site. It could have easily fallen, hot water fallen on someone, and I don't want to imagine what could have happened. So this is, it had tipped over, cracked the tile, and you just think, what else can go wrong? So when you come across things like this, sometimes you're like, come on, is it worth continuing, or shall I just stop the whole thing and just sell up and forget about it? But no, he was like, oh, we really need to fix this quickly, because the solar geysers have got tubes, special tubes they have, and if those break, you're gonna have to buy new solar geysers. Guys, those things are not they might be cheap for some people, but to us they are not cheap, because every single penny counts, every single dollar counts. So we were thinking, oh my goodness, we've got to get this fixed quickly, because if the tubes get damaged, we're gonna be buying again. So quickly, fortunately, he gave up his time, and this is a guy who is very committed to what he does, and he wants to make sure he does his work properly. And he'll be honest with you and say, this type of, we were laughing, actually, me and my husband were laughing like, gosh, this guy is, why can't he just repurpose the pipes that we bought? Because he will not work with certain types of pipes, because he says, oh, those are cheap ones, or those are not this brand. I want to buy something that's long lasting. So yeah, so we had to buy we had to buy the things he needed to redo this again. So guys, so even as I'm talking to you today, we are redoing the plumbing throughout the house. We are redoing it, paying again. So this is paying for the second time with the plumbing. Third time. This is third time now. We are paying for the third time for our plumbing work to be fixed. So what am I saying? Where you can avoid paying, or where you can avoid these mistakes, guys, I urge you to do your homework. You are better off taking longer doing the homework and getting the right people to do the work than being happy with one or two people giving testimonies, and even testimonies of not long anyway, like within a year or less than a year. You want to speak to people who have had their work still working properly for the last 4 or 5 years, a few years at least, for you to say, actually, I think they are good, because these new ones, and people are just out to get your money. They will just get your money. They are not even scared. That's the worrying thing. They are not even scared to take your money. They will take it and they will run with it, and you'll be the one left. So if you can avoid some of these things, guys, it means you will avoid paying for the same work 2 or 3 times or 4 times or even more. Because it's expensive to redo, because you're going to have to pay someone to undo what's been done, and then they have to redo the work. So that's not going to be cheap. So do I regret what we've been through on our project? It's a yes and no answer, I would say. The yes part is more to do with the financial impact it has had on us, on our finances. I think that's the only part I'll say yes to. Because yes, it has set us back financially in having to redo the work again. But the no part, I do not regret. Why am I saying this? Because for me, we are building a future for our children, our children's children, our future generations. So we are getting them a step ahead than us. So I don't regret that bit. Yes, it might be difficult, but it will be worth it in the long run. And also I'm saying no, I don't regret, because I've also learned a lot of things along the way. Now if you ask me what to look out for, I know what to look out for now, and what to avoid. I know who to work with now, especially when you've worked with contractors who have been reliable, like our carpenter, the person who did our gutters, even our builders we have now. I will not hesitate working with those guys again, because they've been good to us. They've been honest on what is achievable, or where they might see, and also we've pushed them as well. We've also pushed them out of their comfort zone. Because sometimes, you know, they would come and say, oh no, that's impossible, and we're like, we don't want to hear it. That's impossible. What solutions have you got? And it is interesting what people come back with when you said, you know, just go back and think about it and think again. And interestingly enough, they come up with a solution, a better solution than they initially had. So we've also pushed them out of their comfort zone, and that's also something they'll be taking forward or adding onto their portfolio as well, on what is possible in you know, when they come across certain clients. And also, so we've built good relationships with the good contractors, and we've also said goodbye to the ones who were probably not meant for us, the ones who have done a boshed up job for us. So we've also said, you know, goodbye. So I now know a lot more. I've learned a lot more. I know what to avoid. And if I was to do another project, I now can go in with my eyes wide open, knowing what to do, what to look out for, and how to get things done efficiently. So continuing or giving up, I think it's a personal thing, guys. For us at Mhiribidi House, the story continues, the project continues, because we are building a legacy for our children. So look out for more videos I'm going to be uploading in relation to the project. But I just wanted to have this honest conversation with you guys to say, you know what, sometimes things don't always go according to plan when you are building, but don't let that deter you. If it's something you truly believe in, which we do, you know, when things go wrong like that, they are learning curves. You pick yourself up again and carry on. And you know, even when we look back now, at points where we're like, this is not worth it, let's give up. Even when we look back on it now, we're like, oh, we're glad we actually continued, we persevered with this, because we are almost seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. So if it is something you're working on, I hope this video has managed to open your eyes to what can also happen when you're building, in as much as we've got positive things happening, but there can also be some negatives that also happen. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please consider subscribing, like and share our videos, and I shall see you in the next video.